Hello, wonderful people. So, imagine this. It is your last day on Earth, and after today, after you do have amazing time here, your physical body drops dead, and you die. What would you do after that? What would you do after your body drops dead? Now, I would like you to share your story, your thoughts on what you would do after your body drops dead, once you're free, and why. Just in arguments, but write a nice story of what you want to do, why, and all this stuff. And I'm asking for this because one, I have a person asking, hey, what happens after we die? I do not want to reincarnate and stuff like that. And at the same time, I would like you to share your story with the arguments of why you want to do specific things. Because people who will come on this channel, they might listen to me and they might be like, yeah, okay, but they might not necessarily agree to what I have to say. Maybe they might have other thoughts. And you might write a great comment. You might write a great story of your opinions of what happens after you die. And people who will read your story might get a different point of view, and you might be the one inspiring them or giving them a better look at life. So, I'm going to share my stuff, but feel free to drop down the menu, in the comments of what you think. So, alright, if today I was to drop dead, what would I do? Well, first of all, I think when we drop dead, thing to know is that we don't necessarily get smarter and things don't change. Just because you drop dead doesn't mean that now you have access to the universal knowledge and you know it all, and you will be able to do everything that you ever wanted because now you know it all. Now, when you drop dead, you still have the same information that you've had before your death, which is why a lot of people are pushing us or sort of telling us hey, while you are still alive here, find out as much as possible. While your body is still here, read, learn, grow spiritually, and create your own opinion on what it's like. The whole reality, the whole truth and stuff like that. It's going to be different for everyone. And the way you perceive life is very, very important. And so Robert Monroe and different people talk about belief system territories. So, by that being said, basically once we die, we can get into our belief system territory. So, for example, people who believe in religions, they might go to heaven or hell, or in the purgatory and have the whole thing happening. Some people might interact with archons, and my thing is that since I get out of body a lot, I talk to people who pass away, which means that people who lived here on Earth for quite a few years pass away, and maybe some of them reincarnate, maybe some of them get free, and in my ubis I go and meet them and find out hey, you're from Earth, what happened? What happened after you died? So I like to hear their stories, I like to hear about their experiences, but the thing is, it is different for everyone. Not we don't have repetitive stories, we have a lot of repetitive stories, but at the same time, just because I've heard 10 people talk about one thing, 20 people talk about second thing, doesn't mean that I will have either of those. And same for you. Each of us will experience reality differently, and I think mainly because of what we believe in. So, here are some of the stories that I've heard about from other people sharing. Some people die and they see a white light, and that's the usual story. We have from the Hollywood, we had from a lot of people, just sharing their near-death experiences or different things. But you drop dead, and around you there's only darkness. You don't have your physical body or anything. You just feel its presence. You have the first person perspective. You see from your eyes, but you don't have the hands or stuff. Or maybe you do. I can't say. Maybe you do have it. So from that hands or not doesn't matter. But basically it's all dark and you have the white light and you're attracted by it, and just like a moth to the fire or light, you're attracted to it and you're going there, and that may be the thing. So some people who see the white light end up going to it, and different stories of what happened. Some of them feel it's just they get into the white light, and it's like the river of souls. There's millions of souls gathered in this pool or river, and they're just going through this machine that's keep people coming back. So you go to the white light, you experience this immense pain and all the suffering, and all of these souls are being all untangled and stuff, and they're dropped back here on Earth. And boom, you're born and look. And some people, once they are born, they might be back in the womb and they might feel everything, or they might just open their eyes once they're out, oh look, baby, So there's that. Some people see white light and they're okay, there's white light, I'm not gonna go there. And so they turn around and go into the darkness. And in the darkness, back into those sort of abyss and the void. They keep going and going and going and going and going, and eventually they see something else. They see other kinds of realms. It's like, look like a portal. You come and see, like, oh look, there's a grass, there are mountains, and darkness everywhere, and this little window, like big enough for your body, like where the grass is, and you step through, and the whole void disappears, and now you are in the other realm, walking around, living and having life. And it's not like incarnation here on Earth where you have to be born, but it's just like, having your consciousness get into this other realm. Other people, they die, they see white light, they see the void, and they're like, aha, okay, so there's a white light and I can go there. Or I can go into the void, like complete darkness, I can just go, like, turn away and go the other direction. But those people choose to use their creativity and imagination, and they're like, okay, white light, void and darkness, but I don't want to go either way. And I just remember, like, I would like to have my own realm. So they think of a place where they want to be in, where they want to be, like, like some kind of a realm, a room, whatever. Just a place where they would like to be. They put an intention of going there, and they teleport. And their body moves from here to there, and so the void, the darkness, the white light had nothing to do with his experience. He just saw it and he's like, okay, I don't want to be here. Boom, and he's out wherever he wanted to be in. So that's one kind of way. Some people, they die. They wake up and they see their body, like, oh, I'm dead. And they realize that their body died, but depending on their beliefs, there are cases of people believing, for example, like, okay, you're a very religious person and you had, like, you were taught in a way that once you die, Jesus will come and take you. And there are people who pass away and they wait for Jesus to show up. For 10, for 50, for 100 years, they are waiting for him. And some other people who can go out of body, they interact with people. For example, like Robert Monroe had the experience where this lady, she believes that, like, okay, like, when I die, Jesus will take me. And no matter how much Robert Monroe would interact with her and try to help her, like, hey, like, your body dropped dead, but you can leave, you can go anywhere. She, from the Bible, learned that, like, and there will be the devil, and he will try to deceive you, and, like, he will pretend to be like this and that. And so, like, basically, lady, like, said, nah, I'm waiting for Jesus, you go away, devil. And, Robert Monroe had no way of doing that sort of thing. So, in my personal experiences, when I get out of body and I interact with people, there are some people who drop dead, and there's, like, tons of stories of what happened after death. But, like, I'll just give you some variations, and then we'll talk about, like, more of it. So anyway, in my movies, I meet people who are dead. And some people had a similar case of, like, they drop dead, their physical body's here, but they do not realize that they died. And they simply walk around and they think, like, oh, okay, somehow people are ignoring me. Like, wife? Why are you crying? Like, I'm here. And like, literally, you would see, like, for example, the husband trying to have a conversation with his wife. The wife, like, sees a dead body, like, my husband died. And basically she, like, she's really sad about it. And the husband is present at his own funeral. And he's like, why are you doing this? Like, I'm here. Like, he's, like, really anxious about it. And he spends over 100 years here on Earth trying to interact with people, trying to talk to people, trying to, like, hey, like, listen to me. And, like, he gets really depressed, he gets really angry, he gets really closed in. He hates people because all of them stopped interacting with him. And, like, I meet him and I started interacting, and he's, like, really weird, really pissed, like, why am I the only one, like, who's talking to him, and then, like, he's crazy and stuff. And, like, we have this kind of conversation until the point where, like, I told him, like, hey, your physical body dropped dead, but you, like, sort of the soul and consciousness in the physical body is like a magnet, and it's, like, really hard to split, which is why a lot of people have a hard time getting out of body. And if you can, like, move your astral body, like for example, Rich150X and I had a video, like, just the live stream, and he was saying, like, this is your physical body, and you're here, like, physical body and your astral body, like, they're, like, really close. And you have to imagine, like, a log, and moving like a log, rolling around. So you have to roll, and whenever you can slip and get away from your physical body, that magnet loses the connection, and now you can get freedom, and, like disconnecting is really hard part. But once you get further away from it, disconnecting is really easy and fast. So, like, that's the thing with the people here. depending on their beliefs, the beliefs have a strong influence on us, like our beliefs and our emotions about it. And some people cling to life. Some people cling to this body, like, this body is everything they have. They might not believe in afterlife, and this body, this life is everything that they have, which is why once they drop dead, they reject the idea that anything else can be there. They reject the idea that their body drops dead. Like, I'm still here. Their soul is clinging on earth because this is the only place where they can exist in their belief system. So, like, I spent like some while like talking to him about the possibilities. I showed him like, hey, look, there are some other realms, and like you are free and you can go there. So talking with people who are dead is a thing. But then some people, another case, some people die. They see their physical body and they're like, oh, I'm dead now. And they can walk around on earth and they can leave freely. And by leaving, you can teleport just by thought. You can fly because you're free. Or you can even like just sort of imagine a realm and physical body, like a physical realm, or like your city or town, whatever is here. And just imagine that you open the door and in there, like beyond the door, is the realm. And you literally like walk through the door because like, as a spirit you can go through walls and everything else. And basically you just like walk into another reality. So there's all kinds of cases. Now another kind of case that I've talked to people, they literally drop dead and, few cases, like various scenarios. Some people are in the void where they see light. Some people are in the room. Some people appear like in sort of garden, like or like a park, or maybe like a court and stuff. And that's where they get to interact with various people and beings. For example, they have archangels and angels showing up. Now, I'll just make a thing like, there are all kinds of beings, good and bad. Some archangels and angels are really good and some are bad. Some reptilians and entities are really, really bad, but there are some very passionate and loving beings. So just because I'm saying like, reptilians are bad and archangels are good, or like maybe different, there are reptilians who are really good and archangels who are really bad. We have all kinds of scenarios, which is why it's important to go with your belief system, and the way you perceive life, and the things you want from it, like the things you're getting, and like, eventually it's your call. So, by that being said, there are cases of people dying, and after they're dead, like they have their physical body, or like, the looks of their physical body and the energetic sphere, and then they get to interact with various beings. Some of them are archons, some of them are angels or archangels, like, you have the archangel Michael or Gabriel coming and talking to you. And they might be good. They might be trying to talk to you. But then again, a lot of beings out there, they try to talk us into reincarnating. They show us our like life, like how we lived, but usually they show negative stuff. All our little mess ups, little fuck ups, or however you would call it. And basically, hey, look, you said a really bad phrase to your siblings. Maybe you've said like, you were really bad to people around you, to strangers, you didn't donate enough money, you didn't do that, and they will remind you only the bad things you've did. And that's the thing to be aware of. If the being is good, for example, angel, archangel, God, Jesus, whatever, whoever you believe in, whoever you might meet out there, if they're good, they might, and if you end up having your backstory brought up, they should show you the good stuff. They should show you like, hey, you're an amazing person, you did some bad things, but you do not have to come back and fix it. It's a thing to know. Malevolent beings, those who will try to deceive us, they will show us the story of our life, of what happened. They will remind us of our mistakes, of our little bad things, of whatever, like, the whole duality thing. And they will try us to agree to come back on Earth and make it better. And try one more time and live a more decent life and do it all over again to make this time better. Their goal is to have us to reincarnate. You do not have to do that. They call it Earth School. They say like you have to go and learn and redo it and fix your mistakes and the whole karma thing. You do not have to agree. Because by all that, it's all my subjective opinion, but I think, this is prison planet. This is where they're trying to have us as a cattle. You have tremendous amount of energy, and they are trying to mess with you. Just think about your life. How many times were you living in hardships? How many times you were like really angry, very disappointed, sad, depressed? Look through your life and look at the bad and hard times. All of those create negative emotions. And those negative emotions is what gives these archons entities deluge. This negative energy is what they're feeding on. And they get better, they power up their systems and stuff, they power up their grids because of that. And we are the ones feeding them. If we're in a loving place, if we're like feeling peaceful and relaxed and calm, helpful, kind, they do not like it because your vibration is very hard. For example, imagine a fly. This is you, your physical body. Now you have the certain vibration or frequency, and depending on how good you're doing, your vibration and frequency will differ. So if you are sad, if you are angry, if you are in the negative place in life, your vibration is low, and basically you are hardly moving. Which is why fly can come on you, and this fly is an entity, an archon, and they can stay with you because your vibration and frequency is hardly moving. But if you are in the loving place, if you are peaceful, like loving, kind, and like lots of good things are happening in your life and you're just happy, your vibration is super high. And this fly, this entity cannot come any close because it's gonna be slapped. Which is why it's scary for them, because once you are happy, if you're doing good in life, they hate that. They just cannot stand it. They cannot feed off from you, and they're really messed up. Because now you're free, you have the power. And they don't want that. Which is why when you look at life, there's so much chaos and fear. And like, we look at life and like, okay, nowadays we have coronavirus, we have like rumors of World War III and different things happening. Oh, scary story here, scary story there, everyone's dying, chaos and stuff. It's all trying to scare us. Mainstream media going all like crazy with that stuff. We don't hear the good news. We don't hear all the things that are happening that would help us. We heard tons of bad things and it's scary, and then mainstream media catches up and just the propaganda everywhere and like blows up in our faces and scares the hell out of us. And I think that they're trying to use this to scare the hell out of us to lower our vibration. Because once our frequency is too high, we'll literally break holes in the grid and we are free from their control. And they do not want that. They want us to be trapped. They want us to obey, and that's where they can control us. If we are afraid, we're not thinking logically, we're not following with like our real selves, and we're just like playing by the rules. So we have to be aware of it. And that's why when archons and like any kind of entities, they have ways to like deceive us. They can show up in the places of like angel or archangel and stuff, but they can also pretend as your loved ones. They can literally imagine, we hear stories about the wolf in the sheep's clothing. So basically, it's the archon, the reptilian, any kind of entity, any kind of being that will want to harm you and come back here on Earth to like cause you to reincarnate. They can dress up as your loved ones, and it's easy for them. Just imagine shapeshifting. Just imagine we have deep fakes now. It's easy to use the AI and different technology to put someone's faces right in front of here. And you might have Hillary Clinton using my face, and I will look like Hillary Clinton and I'll tell you a message. And I'll be hey, support Hillary Clinton and vote for Hillary. And now it might have some political ads. Don't do that, please. But anyway, that being said, archons and entities will find ways to deceive us, and that's the whole plan. They are not that powerful, but their power is in deception. If they can deceive us, if they can lie to us, if we will agree and play by the rules, they win. Which is why we have to be aware of it. And they will have lots of ways. They will tell you all kinds of stories. This is why we hear, in the purgatory or whatever case we have, we are reminded of our past life. Only to make us feel guilty, bad, or wrong, and make us to reincarnate. You do not have to do that. In the whole multiverse, there is no duality. On physical Earth, in physical reality, sure, of course, because that's what they're feeding us on. You're bad, you're good, look at that good person, you're bad, you have to learn and stuff. And it make us guilt trip all the way. Guilty, bad, wrong, yeah, that's me, I did all this stuff. I didn't feed my cat on time, I'm gonna reincarnate and try again. Cool. So, that being said, don't fall for the reincarnation trap, and they will try to lie to you and deceive you in any kinds of ways. By showing you your past and how bad it was, by giving a loved one that you really care for, that you really care about and stuff, that you really love, that person might look like your loved one, but it might not be the one. If your loved one is telling you hey, we should go back on Earth. We can have a better life, we can do it all again and stuff. If they're trying to pursue you into coming back here on Earth, that's when hey, I don't trust you. Who are you? And it's easy for them to be deceitful and stuff. And another thing, your loved ones, the people that you care for, will want the best for you. They will not want you to reincarnate to fix your mistake, because the people that love you accept you the way you are. They love you anyways, no matter what. So they will be fine wherever you are. They love you anyways. They do not want you to reincarnate on Earth or fix your mistake because they love you. And which is why, when I'm out of my body, when I'm out of my body, and I know where my loved one is, I simply relate to their energy. What it is like to be with them. What do they feel like? What are the emotions I have when I'm with them? I pick up on that feeling state or that emotion. I pick up on their soul energy or who they are like, and it's easy to just have an intention to go and see them and teleport, and I'm with them. So if your body drops dead, there's all kinds of scenarios that can happen. And for some people, I tell you all these scary stories. Some people who drop dead don't see all that stuff. They never see any archons or entities. They don't see white light. They just they drop dead and they open eyes and they are already in another world, just like dreaming. Your physical body falls asleep. It's as if the death happened, and you open your eyes and you are in another realm, doing your story, living your life. And some people who drop dead are literally like that. Physical body drops dead and you open your eyes, and the same second that your physical body drops dead and you close your eyes, you open your eyes in another world, continuing your adventure, having the memory of that place, and you're super engaged. And it's as if nothing ever happened. In some of my Ubis, I made a video about it, but I explained how I was a past life. How did I call it? I was the architect of Afterlife. Yeah, Afterlife architect. That's how I call it. So, in that video, I was talking about how I was the architect, Afterlife architect, and basically anyone who drops dead, and specifically in that realm, it was sort of traumatic deaths for any kind of beings, and basically a person drops dead, and they end up in my afterlife, architecture or whatever, and they don't see me. This is basically a room with their belief system territory, but more a person can enter and they will have millions or thousands of doors, or maybe they will have sort of ladder, however they would see that certain place where they drop dead. But the thing is, every person that came into that architecture of mine had a certain belief of what it might look like once they drop dead. And some, maybe it's a dark room. Some might saw, okay, it's an official court, for example, and there's lots of chairs and stuff, and I'll have people talking to me and stuff. And, I'll tell you some of the variations. So, some people drop dead, and they're in the corridor, and there's, lots of doors. And that person has the freedom. I am simply a watcher, observer, and I give them all the, ways to perceive life as they want. A sin. Okay, I'm dead. And they have tons of doors. So they open one door and there's a city, and they might go and interact with people and come out I didn't like the place. And they open another door and there's the waterfall and mountains and forests and animals, and they go there and they like the place. But after a few years, for example, over there, they come in oh, I didn't like it. I had enough. I want something else. They open the door and another door. Flying rocks, cities out there in the sky, the dragons, and they're completely that's my place. I love this place. And they jump in, and they have all their abilities. They can customize what they're gonna look like and stuff. And they go there and they like the place that they choose. This is where I want to be. And when they make the choice of where they want to be, after they question themselves of what their needs are, what they want, and what their afterlife should be like, they finally realize okay, this is the place. I want to be here. I want to live here. And only then, when the person consciously makes a decision and has an intention, I want to be here, I want to live here, then, only then he can choose. Like in the video game, for example, do you want to be a newborn? Do you want to be a teenage or an adult? How long do you want to live? What would you want to look like? And you can literally customize yourself, all of your personality and stuff, all of your looks and stuff. Do you want to look like a human? Maybe like an android? Maybe like this. And they will give you tons of looks, and you choose for yourself. Choose because in that realm, all of it is possible, and you are the creator. And that's for example, one kind of case. Another case I had is where in my Afterlife Architect thing, I had a person die. And basically that girl thought okay, when I die, I will be in this very bright room. It's a court looking there's a few big chairs in the middle, Oval Office or something. And once you're here, there's a table in the middle and lots of chairs around, just like us observers. And basically, that's the girl, that's me, and we're gonna talk. And basically, you can imagine, like, I don't know, like holographic computer screen, and she thinks of her life, what she would like to have, and literally she has a computer screen showing a movie of the place, and she can, like, it's interactive, and she can click on it and expand it or go there and somewhere else, make decisions, whatever, and she can choose, and she can literally design her own world. Over there, she has enough time, like no one's pushing her, and over there, she for herself, like, okay, I want to be free. Why am I here? And she, like, has tons of questions for herself, and she questions the hell out of herself, finds all the answers that she wants, and only then, when she feels like confident of what she wants, she uses the monitor to create the realm where she wants to be. So she doesn't go in some design place already. She creates it herself. All kinds of beings, like, all there. She starts, like, okay, it's not just one realm. She starts the whole galaxy out there, all the planets out there, or the realms, and she creates beings one after another from scratch. And she, like, sort of has a design, and you are the creator. It's all up to you. So there are tons of scenarios of what can happen after you drop dead. And I believe that eventually it all depends on our beliefs of what might happen, of like who we are for real. And some people might be ready, like, hey, when I die, I will go to heaven and live there. And you have a certain perception of heaven. And once you drop dead, you will experience that. You will, like, however you put yourself, maybe taken by the angels, maybe just opening your eyes and you're here at the, like, gates to the heaven, and you will go through there, and you might have different kind of scenarios. Some people see heaven as, like, streets of gold. Some people will see, like, lots of animals and clouds and parks and stuff. Like, however you would see, like, just the Garden of Eden and stuff. Other people, like, to think of hell, and they might go there. But eventually, I believe that it all depends on our belief system territory, and that being, like, whatever you learn here, whatever you believe in now, the way you understand life and afterlife and what might happen, you are the creator, you are the designer, you are God, and you are the one creating your experience. You are the one creating your future. So right now you might think of what your afterlife might be like, and as you think about it, you are already manifesting up ahead. And once you drop dead, it is there. Whatever you created while you were here is basically you are writing the story for life. And every day you might think, like, oh, I'm living this way and my life sucks, or maybe it's great. And however you spend your daily life, it is the thing. But your thoughts about death, your thoughts about, like, I might see the entities, I might be captured, I might have archons, I might have white light, I might reincarnate, all of those fears will push you into having all of that happening. Which is why it's important to know about the possibilities, but create the reality that you want. It's like law of attraction, except you're the writer of your life. And with the daily thoughts, you create your daily life, and, like, up ahead, a few days ahead. But every day, if you think about death and what will happen after you die, if you think about all the bad stuff and how bad it is and how there is no escape, you will quite likely manifest it. Now, I'm not saying that I know it all or that I've experienced all. This is my first time on Earth. I'm still trying to find out how things are here. Like, I'm surprised that people are thinking in their head. And I'm like, you don't have quiet mind? I'm still trying to adjust to this place. But that being said, this is just my opinion. This is how I see life. And if you think, like, hey, I can relate to it. The thing is, we probably lived through quite a few lifetimes in other places. And we might have met, we might have not. But it doesn't matter if we meet or not. What matters is that whatever you experience in your past and you hear a story about it, you will relate to it, and you will not, like, but you will have the knowing that this is true. What they're telling is true for you, because you in your past experienced that. It might sound like a science fiction, it might sound like a fantasy story, but you might have experienced that in your past life, and you might not remember it. But once you hear someone talking about it, a specific phrase, a specific thing that they tell, like, specific details, you will know if it's true or not. And it's up to you. So, that all being said, I'm telling you, like, all the possibilities and stories that I've, like, seen, like, for myself. I talked to people who, like, passed away and stuff, and I'm just like, okay, that's what I heard. Lots of variations. Choose your. And when it comes to that, I think it's really important to work on yourself while you're here. while you are on Earth, develop your skills, grow spiritually, learn more, listen to various people, and develop your own point of view, your own story, and go with that. Whatever you want to experience, you will have. And I think with that, what I probably do, or what I know I will do, once this physical body drops dead, because I'm still busy, I have things to do, and if I'm not really sick, I want to be here, and I want to fix things, or I want to do certain things, and I have my own goals, doesn't matter what they are. But once this physical body drops dead, and I am free, it doesn't matter if I will see the white light, or archons, or something else. What matters is that I know certain place where I was in my past. There's one realm, very, very loving realm, where I have my family, where I have certain beings that I know that are my best friends. It's a very loving place. Beings out there communicate telepathically, and I just probably will repeat that word, but they are super loving, and it's my place for rehab. I have a very loving family out there, and they really recharge me with love and energy, and it's whatever you choose, they're beings out there, it's I don't know, I wouldn't call it I forgot the name of that fish and stuff, but it doesn't matter. It's basically like a fish being, but if you touch it, or if it touches you, it's literally we have leeches here on Earth, and it's not like it there. It's like a fish, giving you a little kiss and this little peck, but what happens is you're being fully recharged. It's ripples through your body or through your energy, and just all the loving and generosity, and you're sitting there recharging. And for me, it's just really amazing. So I know that when I'm dying, it doesn't matter what I see, it doesn't matter what's here around me. I know that my goal is out there, and I do not have to think about how to get there, because I have sort of memory or knowledge of what it looks like. I know where it is, and I simply put the intention. This is where I want to be. And you might have seen this anime called Dragon Ball, and there's a character called Goku. So after the Frieza saga, the planet Namek planet explodes, and on his way out there, he meets these beings who teaches him how to teleport. And teleportation is okay, think of a place, have your intention, have your fingers like this, and you literally sort of teleport from one place to another. Funny example, I know, but you can do it. It's literally like that. You don't have to put the fingers out there, but you think of a place, you put the intention, I want to be there, this is where I'm going, and that alone will take you there. So it doesn't matter if you drop dead and you see lots of entities and stuff, or whatever it might be. You might be in the void, you might be in light, or wherever you might be. Simply think of a place where you would like to be, and you might not even think about it after you die. You might already know where you want to go after your body drops dead, and simply putting an intention will take you there. So that's my take on it. And I guess another thing I will mention about the void, I've had a few experiences where I literally did get knocked out really good, and I was literally away from my body, and I was in the void. I was in this void. It's complete darkness, no light, nothing. It's all around, darkness all around me. But it was the most satisfying experiences I've ever had, because it was really quiet. It was very just me. It was just me. And the thing is over here on Earth, a lot of people, I think they have this mind, all these thoughts, and they are overthinking, and every day is just non-stop. What am I gonna eat? Where am I gonna go? Which road am I gonna take to work? And non-stop there's this voice in your head. There's always something happening, and it doesn't shut up. People here on Earth have a hard time shutting their mind up, and it might be a negative entity talking to you, it might be something else, but this mind doesn't shut the hell up. So in that void, it's amazing because it's quiet. It's just you over there, and pure you, only your own creation, only who you are for real, and it feels great. So being in that void, we see the white light and we're oh, it's light, we have to go there. You don't have to, because once you go to the void, and we think of the darkness is scary because of the unknown, because when you turn off all the lights at your house, it feels kind of freaky. The void out there, once you're free, it feels very friendly, it feels very warm, it feels very you and only you, and there's nothing else that will really mess with you. And it's just you yourself purely, and nothing else that can harm you or mess with you or have any thoughts and stuff. And it feels really good. It feels very free, that freedom, that like sense of freedom, it's really there. So some people might be like, you know, what if I don't go to the light? Like that voice seems scared, like that darkness. Like it's okay. It's like really, really nice. At least it was for me. Like, you know, I don't know if I was gonna be for other people, but I've had like my own experience, like in person. I've had a few other people talking about near-death experience and different things where they experienced the same kind of void and they loved it. And you know, I'm just saying, like, you know, it might be just belief system territory. What you do after your death, how do you get ready for it? Just live your life and be the best version of yourself while you're here, and you're not killing yourself. If you're not, please don't. But no, it doesn't matter. Like, be the best version of yourself. Live to the fullest. Live your dreams, or at least try to go for it. Learn as much as possible. Like, listen to different people and different kind of opinions, because I might have one, and you might like, you know, yeah, cool, she has a great point of view, but that person has way better. Go for whatever you think is best for you, and just go with that. And once you drop dead, you'll see what happens. Like, you know, you might not interact with any white light, you might not see any bad beings, and eventually, just remember that you do have the ability to teleport. So whatever place you will think of, you know, you might start practicing it right now. If you learn how to get out of body, it's literally the simulation of what happens after you die. You are free to go anywhere and do anything and create anything. So right now you might have like, okay, I can dream. I'm still not there with lucid dreams. Out of body experiences and astral projection is still out of my league. What do I do? It's basically simple. Take care of yourself, live a daily life, keep a dream journal, and teach yourself, like, you know, okay, just like think of a place, and whenever you think of a specific place, put an intention and teleport. And you might start having the awareness throughout your dreams, but you can build up to lucid dreams, to astral projection, to out-of-body experience. And if you can practice out there, while you're still here on Earth, if you can practice and have astral projection or out-of-body experience, it is literally the imitation of what happens after you drop dead. And then you're free, and whatever you experience in the UBIs, you know your experience, you know your abilities, you're free to go and try out everything. UBIs are not that easy to reach. It sounds simple, but it's not easy. For some people it might be quick go and you're like free to do stuff. For some people it might be years and years of practice. It took me a whole year of like daily practice and tons of work to finally reach the stage where I am right now. But, you know, I believe that a lot of people are different. They have individual experience, and how to get out of body, I made a lot of videos about it in the past. If you want to, I can still make more videos. And the key thing is to live the best of like while you're here, live your best life as much as possible, learn as much as possible, and then just simply apply your experience out there. Because it doesn't just end with like blackness and that's it, that's the end. No, it doesn't happen. It's like you are infinite. You live forever. And don't get trapped here on Earth, because that's where they literally make us slaves and sort of suppress us, distract us, and literally messes up our consciousness and who we are. If you can get away from this place, go far away from this, and just like live a better life somewhere else, there's tons of realities, tons of realms, tons of planets where you can have something better. So that's my story. That's like, you know, there's tons of other things that can happen after you die. There's a whole thing with the reincarnation trap, the really like death trap and stuff like that. Farsight Institute and stuff, like check out those, check out Rich 150X. A lot of people are talking about these subjects. And just like listen to different kind of opinions, listen to different people, learn as much as possible, and you know, I would say like try getting out of body. If you can reach that, you will know what it's like to be dead, you'll know what it's like to be free, and to be the godlike being that you are. So that's my video, and share your story. Like, what would you do after you drop dead, and where would you go? And write a nice story, like why would you do certain things. And you know, if my message doesn't get through to you, people in the comments might have a perfect story that will click with you, and you might get a great opinion. Now again, I don't know it all, but I'm just sharing my thoughts and my opinion. So just like, you know, you like it, great. You don't, awesome. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next video. Bye.